Hey everyone, it's time for our weekly market update, and I want to start with the S&P 500 futures because I'm shooting this before market open. And as you can see, last week we had almost 5% down. We were 4.5% at the close, but we were pretty much more than 5% down on the week at some point, and we got to this pretty significant level, I would say, on the S&P, which is around 3650. In the last hour of the trading session on Friday, we had quite a significant bounce, a few percentage points. And what I was discussing in one of my last alerts was that if we see this, the probability of, first of all, having a green week in stocks for this week is a lot higher, but also we might see some decoupling of crypto compared to the stock markets. Because if we're looking at this chart and if you're seeing two consecutive red weeks for the stocks, especially after the Fed's announcement, and actually more importantly, it wasn't the 75-point interest hike, but the comments that the Fed had that they will still be very aggressive and they will look to curb inflation, which is still running quite high. However, as you can see today, futures are still in the red and potentially we could still test and retest this area. I really think the higher probability is that we have at least some kind of a bounce right here, but if we break this level, I think this could also signal quite a big sell-off in crypto, because this is actually what happened a week or so ago when Bitcoin was holding up, and then at some point you can see here a couple of weeks ago we had a massive red week to kind of catch up with the sell-off in stocks. And as you can see, last week we had this kind of decoupling because Bitcoin was down only 3% compared to the almost 5% on stocks. And usually when crypto is selling off together with stocks, it's pretty much double the percentage. So if we follow this formula, Bitcoin should have sold off at least 10% last week, and it didn't. And during the weekend and even today, we're pretty much flat. What is really worrying me, if the sell-off continues, I think at some point we're gonna snap this support level around 18k, because you can see also on the daily, and if we just move on the 4-hour chart so you can see it even a little bit better, we are squeezing in this level right here. And if we don't get a temporary bounce on stocks, this will definitely cause a sell-off in crypto. At least that's my hypothesis. And that's why I also mentioned that I'm looking to add to my short position if we snap around 18k support. The major levels down that I'm looking at, obviously the first one is the one that we had some reactions here. Let me just go back to a daily chart. So the first level, if we snap, will be somewhere around here, so 1750, and then the next leg down is pretty much open space down to, let's say, 14 or 12k. And if we get there, especially in a hurry, I'll definitely be loading the bags right here in this area, because usually what has happened in the past several months, and I would say even in the past year or two on Bitcoin, is that everyone is aiming for an area. So in this case, let's say it's 12k, but we might never get there. You know, we might have a bounce just before that, so somewhere in the 14k area. In this case, I want to be buying. I want to be patient, but I also want to start buying somewhere around here in case we never get to 12k. And if we do, and if we even go lower, that's fine with me. You know, I have plenty of ammunition and I'm not going to rush and go all in these levels. I'm just gonna start increasing my rate of buying Bitcoin and Ethereum. And when it comes to Ethereum, let's jump into the chart. My short is still active. I still have it. What happened just a couple of days or 3 days after we opened it, it was the extremely volatile day of the Fed meeting. And as you can see here, if we go down even to an hourly chart, you'll see that on the hour of the announcement of the rate hike, we had a big bounce. We had a 4% hourly candle, but right back then we reversed from resistance of 1400. And I mentioned that if we get to this level, I'll be buying, I will actually be shorting even more. I will increase my short position here. However, I didn't do this just because of the essence of the day and of the news and everything. It was an extremely volatile day, which makes it very uncertain what's going to happen. And that's why I decided to sit on the sidelines and just keep my position that I have here and just see what's going to happen. An hour later, we reversed back down, which is great, you know, for my short. I'm not too mad that I didn't add. To be honest, I'm happy with my size right now. And as you can see also, we have similar pattern here together with Bitcoin, with just squeezing down with lower highs on the 4-hour chart and just relatively showing signs of weakness, but still not seeing the sell-off that we saw on the stock market. Ethereum right now is pretty much in open air, and I will be definitely increasing my rate of buying Ethereum in the 1,000 and then in the 800 levels below us. As you can see, actually we reached this support level and we bounced right from it around 1200. So potentially if stocks hold up this week, we could be chopping around in this area for quite a while. But to be honest, together with the size that I have in my long-term Ethereum holdings, I'm still not too confident, and I don't really want to rush it and buy Ethereum in these levels just because I think I have enough and my cost basis is very, very low compared to these levels. And actually, if this scenario plays out and we never see lower levels on Ethereum and on Bitcoin, that's fine. Then I'm going to be waiting for accumulation ranges, and let's say if Bitcoin holds up this area, you know, I'm gonna start buying in the higher levels here once we get more confirmation that these are the accumulation ranges. I also want to discuss a couple of altcoins, and one of them is ETC, because this is obviously a sympathy play to Ethereum, and as you can see, it also kind of sold off after the merge, but still hasn't lost all its gains from this breakout here. So from the lows here, we're still up like 100%. And I believe that if we actually see a snap of support on Bitcoin, this could be a very good candidate for shorting, just because we have, first of all, here, if we go to the next level down, if we snap this level of around $27, next level down is around 35% down, around $17, and another leg down is like 50% down. So this will make for a good short setup when it comes to profit targets. But also I think when it comes to stop loss, we have the both moving averages here in this area, and also we have this level that is confirming as support currently, and this could play out as a nice 7 or 8% stop loss area. So I'm keeping this on my primary watch list. I haven't still engaged in any short because, as we discussed, you know, it's not very clear which direction the market will go this week, but definitely I'm keeping an eye on this. Another one that I wanted to discuss is XRP. It had a little pop last week, and to be honest, I couldn't find any significant news why this is happening. The court case with the SEC against XRP is still going on. We still don't have any kind of resolutions, and I think this is pretty much just a lot of speculation and a lot of the moon boys that really believe in XRP and that this is the future and that every single bank in the world at some point will adopt XRP are buying in anticipation of positive outcome from the SEC case. Plus, also after the merge hype died out, I think people that are just speculating on the market and are looking for profitable trades just move to the XRP trade and the SEC case that could be solved positively for Ripple to speculate and, you know, to pump the price and to have like a nice little breakout in this area right here and use the hype wave to make some quick gains. And as you can see, we reached the 200-day moving average right here, and then we had another pop above it to around this level, around 55 cents. It's really a chop fest on the chart of XRP. As you can see, let me just move to a weekly chart so we can chart it a little bit better. You can see here that we have some reactions in this area around 50 cents, which is a round emotional number. It makes sense. Then we have some reactions here around 55 cents. Then we have very choppy reactions, you know, in this area, some big wicks on the weekly chart around 67 cents. So for me personally, this one is really difficult to trade. And actually someone in the community asked me about range trading of XRP, and more specifically this range around 57 to 67 cents, I think was the range mentioned. If we go down to the hourly chart, you'll see that we touched these levels, which was actually 47, not 57, now that I remember. And you can see that here on the lower side, yes, we had some reactions, but on the upper side we had just one reaction around 55 cents. So for me, this is not a range. In order to trade a range, you need to have at least several touches on both sides of the range, and here you can see that this is more of a descending triangle after the big pop that it had. This is pretty normal price action. You know, we are going back down with lower highs and we're squeezing into this support area right here with the potential to break down and go back down to previous levels. So definitely this doesn't fit my description of range trading, and I think it's very risky to trade XRP here just because of all the speculations and the big black, or actually it's not a black swan, more like a gray swan, because many people know about this court case of Ripple and we don't know what the outcome will be. So just be very careful with Ripple if you want to buy in and follow the moon boys, and have clear areas of stop loss if you have been in this trade already, and just avoid back holding, because this is one of the worst things, you know, because even from this level here you can still be down to the next level like 25%. This is on the hourly chart, by the way. And if we go to the daily, you'll see that there's a lot of open space below where we can go like 30+% down and potentially even more. You know, we don't know how bad this bear market can get. That's everything for this video, guys. If you have any questions, you know how to find me.